name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now on the Shining Wizards Hotline, he's a singer, he's a songwriter, but most importantly, he's a professional wrestler, the one and only prestigious Joe Hendry. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. How are you guys?
It's a pleasure to finally get to talk to you. We're big fans. We followed your career for quite a bit of time, from the UK to the States to Canada, and it kind of brings me to my first question. My favorite parody that Joe Hendry has ever done: Smash Wrestling, Joey Ryan, the thong parody. A couple questions about that. First of all,
Yeah.
I've done some research on you, and I know you've done well close to 100 parodies. Did Joey know that you were doing such a parody? Because the look in the ring when he sees this video and the song, it looks like he's completely blindsided.
I think he definitely didn't see it beforehand, so I think he was probably expecting something, but probably didn't know what.
It's brilliant.
So, yeah, I think it was. I think that was the first time he saw it. It's always the best when that's the first time the opponent sees it.
It's so funny. You know, you watch wrestling and you watch TV and all this stuff, and I feel like you guys always have this camaraderie where it's kind of like, can I get you to break character? And you could kind of see through the darkness that Joey is ready to lose his mind laughing about how brilliant of a job that you did. When did you start writing parodies and especially using them in pro wrestling?
Well, I started using them because where I was in wrestling at the time and where I was on the card, I wasn't where I wanted to be. You know, I was kind of struggling to get on the shows I wanted to get on and stuff like that, and I was finding I was losing every match as well. So I thought to myself, wrestling's all about perception, and is there a way to change the perception of me that I am important here, that I am a main eventer here, even though that wasn't the case when I was in ICW. So what I did was I did these parodies because I knew the matches would be on the on-demand service that would be seen by a certain number of people, but if these parodies went on YouTube, all they would see would be me making fun of my opponents. So that would put me across as a star. So it was really out of design, out of necessity to move up the card. So that's why I started it. And, you know, if you throw enough mud at the wall, something eventually sticks, and that was what got me to the dance, you know? Absolutely.
I went down a Joe Hendry rabbit hole, and I watched the Teenage Dirtbag one, which I thought was hysterical. Do you remember what your first parody song was?
Well, the first one I did was actually it was the ICW Me and You one, which was like a parody of like what the ICW music was at the time. And then there was I think the first one in this kind of style that I did would have been the Phil Collins one. That was the one where I kind of like, you know, I came out with this new kind of gimmick, new gear, and that was, I felt in that moment I'd kind of, you know, the stars had aligned, everything was kind of slotted into place, and I started to learn I started the journey of learning who I was as a professional wrestler.
That was the In the Air Tonight one, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I wore gold, and I've had gold in some way ever since.
Well, it's clearly taken off. You spent a little bit of time at Impact, and then in August you signed with Ring of Honor, and instantly, within a couple months, you're in this tag team with Dalton Castle, arguably two of the most eccentric, entertaining performers in professional wrestling and Ring of Honor. What's that whole experience been like for you to work with Dalton?
It's been awesome because, you know, Dalton's at the top of the tree. He's a former world champion, a recent former world champion. And so he's been there and done it. He's done it in Ring of Honor. And he is, you know, as you said, he's extremely charismatic. But what I really enjoy working with Dalton, what I really enjoy about working with Dalton is that his sense of humor is so different to mine. So what I would think would be funny is completely different to what he would think would be funny. So when he sometimes makes a joke off the cuff, like in the middle of a promo, it'll catch me off guard, you know. And there's times where, like, 'cause I'm kind of know my particular style of comedy, so you know that stuff doesn't catch me off guard. But Dalton just has a completely different way of approaching things. So you'll see me sometimes laugh in promos, and it's legitimate laughter.
And you guys make a fantastic. I love watching your promos. I love seeing you guys together in the ring. And it seems like finally, in the last month or so, you guys seem to be clicking on all cylinders. You saw that at Honor Reigns Supreme when you guys beat the Briscoes and PJ Black and Brian Johnson in a three-way dance. And then most recently at Bound by Honor when you guys defeated Lifeblood, The Righteous, and PJ and Brian Johnson. I mean, two guys completely different in terms of wrestling. How long did it take you guys to get on the same page? Because it seemed like it took a while, but now that you guys have hit your stride, I mean, even in the four-way match that Dalton had at Gateway to Honor, like, you were there to catch him when he fell out of the ring after the super kick. How long does it take you guys to figure each other out and get on the same page?
I think we both saw each other as singles wrestlers, you know, and I thought that originally was what I thought I was going to be doing when I came into Ring of Honor. And I guess, you know, I was kind of married to that idea. And, you know, Dalton was used to being a singles wrestler as well. And I think when we just started having fun and just going, you know what, and it's like all tag teams say this, the moment that you just go, you know what, this is what we're doing, let's commit to 100%, let's make it work. And then the chemistry started, and, you know, we started coming up with little combos that made us laugh, little things that made us laugh. And I think actually, like, as you become better friends with the person, you become a better tag team as well, you know?
Absolutely. Do you guys travel together?
We don't travel together. I don't think anyone could unseat the throne that Matt Taven has as Dalton Castle's travel partner. Nothing's going to separate that bond. But you know, we're friendly at shows.
And you guys have a huge opportunity Friday night, March 13th at the 18th, a huge weekend actually. First at the 18th anniversary show, you take on the most decorated tag team in Ring of Honor history, the Briscoes. How do you prepare for two psychopaths like them?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you beat the Briscoes, you are at the very top of the tree. They are arguably the best tag team in the world today. So if you can get a win over them, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if we do that, that should give us, you know, instant number one contendership status. So that really is the goal. But yes, they are lunatics. You know, they are aggressive. It's a different pace that we're used to. We like to have fun in there. And, you know, the Briscoes, we need to be on our game because they don't give their opponents any room to breathe. So I think you're going to see likely a more intense side to us. That's what we need to do. We need to kick it up a notch. We love entertaining the fans, but on that night, the focus has got to be getting the W.
I just don't know how one prepares for redneck kung fu.
It's a mystery.
Do you see? My thinking is perhaps maybe the brothers, maybe they're a little nervous about the next night, the past versus present, where they're actually going to fight each other. So you guys might have a little bit of an advantage going into this 18th anniversary show.
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing though: when you're Joe Hendry and Dalton Castle, you can't think too much about what the opponents are doing. We're going to steer into what we do and what we do best. But you do raise a good point. They are facing each other the very next night at Past versus Present. It's an absolutely stacked card. If you look at some of the matchups they've got there, it's a very, very creative show. The way that this has been arranged, the matchups that we've got going into this. If you look at the shows that Ring of Honor are putting out right now, the momentum we've got right now as a company, this, you know, in Vegas this weekend is going to be insane in the best way possible. So like I say, they are going to face each other the night after. Whether that will play into their strategy or not, I don't know, but we'll be ready either way.
Did you guys do something wrong to somebody at the office? Because not only do you have to wrestle the Briscoes at the 18th anniversary, the next night at Past vs. Present, you get Delirious, who we all know is not all there. And for those not familiar with Grizzly Redwood, he is also a couple dimes short of a full stack. It seems like you guys got a terrible deck of cards handed to you this weekend.
It's going to be a tough weekend. It's going to be a tough weekend. Tough opponents on both nights. You know, they've got different strengths, but very, very tough challenges. But I'm feeling good. You know, if we want to prove that we're the best tag team in the world, we got to face any challenge.
And if there's any place for you to prove that you're the best tag team in the world, Ring of Honor is the place right now. The Briscoes, Lethal and Gresham at the top of the list, Danny Moff and Jeff Cobb, The Righteousness, Lifeblood, even PJ and Brian, once Brian gets his head out of his rear. It's a stacked
Don't
tag.
forget two guys, one tag as well.
Oh, I love two guys, one tag. How come you guys don't have a fun name like the Scottish Peacock or something like that?
Well, I think you've just demonstrated why we don't have that name, because that is the worst tag team name I've ever heard in my life. But if you come up with something better, let me know. But me and Dalton we're icons. You can't keep us within a tag team name. We're icons.
I'd be hard to disagree with that. Icons indeed. The parodies and the musical influence, where does that come from for you?
It's South Park. It's South Park humor.
I can dig that. I did do some research on you. I can understand why you think The Office in the UK is better than the American Office. I also enjoy The Office UK, but man, my heart belongs to The Office in America.
Yeah, and my heart belongs to hitting the red hang up button after you hear me say something like that. That is blasphemy. That is blasphemy.
Well, I kind of look at it like you and Dalton. Dalton has like a U.S. Office sense of humor, and you have a UK Office sense of humor.
Dalton's sharper than the U.S. Office.
Oh, man, you're breaking hearts all over the place, Joe. I'm not going to lie. This is a tough one right here.
They were already broken. There's no fixing you if you think that.
So you became you signed to Ring of Honor in 2019 in August, and it's a weird time for Ring of Honor. But as of 2020 and some of the moves that they've made, Ring of Honor seems to be going up. The sky is the limit. I mean, you got past and present, which is awesome. You're going to do the New Japan Ring of Honor Worlds Collide Tour. War of the Worlds, excuse me. Where do you see Ring of Honor and yourself by the end of 2020?
I think at the end of the day, I think we're in an age now where, I think the way things used to be is you would have a product or a service and there would be the marketing of that service, right? Whereas nowadays, I think because of social media and so much information is readily available, now your marketing is your product or your service. And how that relates to wrestling and Ring of Honor is that basically if your product is top notch, if you've got the best product, all it's going to take is time for people to realize that. That's all it's going to take. And trust me, the shows that we're putting out right now is banger after banger. It's the shows, I think we're putting on the best wrestling shows in the world. Personally, I hand on heart believe that, and I think the fans that watch it believe that. And the word is going to spread. And I think what we're going to have here is organically, the word is going to grow and people are going to realize. And I think by the time the year is out, Ring of Honor is going to be exactly what it deserves to be. We are going to be seen as the best wrestling product.
It would be hard to disagree. We're here in New Jersey, and we took the almost 4-hour trip down to Baltimore for Free Enterprise, and that show was unbelievable. As an Honor Club subscriber, I get all the shows. I think it's the best value in terms of what you're spending and what you're getting. Everything that you guys have done since January has been dynamite, and I only look forward to, not just the 18th anniversary show, but then we're bringing back the Pure title. We have Battlestar in New York. We have the War of the Worlds, Best in the World, the Super Card. Ring of Honor is running on all cylinders, and I'm excited that you're part of it because I feel like there's a whole audience that needs to know Joe Hendry and believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I like it.
It's a very catchy tune, Joe.
Thank you. I worked hard on it.
What do you say to the people that missed they only clap once at the beginning? It's 2 claps, people. Come on.
Who claps once? Does that happen?
I've seen people only do 1 clap. It's very upsetting.
It's upsetting, but I think it's probably because they watched The American Office earlier that day. That might be why it is. It just, every episode takes away a brain cell.
Every episode? Come on.
No, you know what? I'm sure The American Office is good, right? It's just like, it's just you're taking something perfect and just making it good. That's my issue with it. Okay, I'll try and put it to the side, but it's tough.
I understand. Don't you wish there was more UK Office, or did you think it ended perfectly?
You always got to leave them wanting more.
When can we get more?
Never, because we're always wanting more. When you go on, when The Simpsons is the opposite. You know, you don't want people to want it to stop. You know,
I feel that way about South Park.
you feel that way, but right now we're going to fall out. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I hear what you're saying. There's been dips here and there, but at least they're trying new things. You know. But anyway, let's get back to Ring of Honor.
This is
I'm
going
getting
off.
upset. Let's not fall out about this.
No,
okay?
I don't want to fall out with you, Joe. This is going off the rails. In your Wave Your Hands video, we see you playing the guitar. Do you play a lot of instruments?
I do. I do play the guitar, a little bit of keys, and I sing, obviously. I mean, bass as well, but that's just, I'm not like a bassist. I'm just kind of a guitarist who plays bass when required. So, I played the instruments in that particular ensemble. So there you go.
Now, have you ever done the keytar? Have you combined the keys and the guitar?
I can't say that I have. Maybe that's the next big entrance that I do. Who knows?
I like that. Have any wrestlers asked you to write their own entrance music? Like, hey, Joe, this is my thing. Like, you think you could write something for me? Are you like the next Jim Johnson when you're done in the ring?
That's a good point, actually. I would love to get into that, actually. It's one of these things in wrestling. It's really hard to come up with things for yourself, but it's really easy to come up with things for other people. So that would be, I think I would enjoy that.
I don't see why. I think you do amazing work in the ring and with the parodies. But
Thank you.
Everybody knows, the wrestling career is, you guys don't have it easy, so it's always something nice to fall back on. And I think that would be perfect for you. You're very creative. It's nice to see
Thank you.
Someone ply their trade in many different ways.
Thank you.
You are very welcome, sir. Does Tag Team Gold strike the fancy of Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry in 2020?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Like I say, we're 100% committed to this tag team. And look, if we steamroll through these shows, if we steamroll through the 18th anniversary and past and present, then look, who else are you going to have as the number one contenders? It's as simple as that. And then we need to go on and we need to achieve our destiny. And it's an exciting time, to how prestigious those championships are, pun intended. It's an exciting time. So it's an awesome company to be a part of. I absolutely love it. I'm living my dream. Everyone on the roster feels that way as well. Everyone's happy there. We're all motivated. We're competitive. It's a great place to be, and we are just going to tear the house down on both of these shows and all the shows moving forward. We haven't, all the shows we're doing, it's tearing the house down. Everyone is on form, and there aren't weak links on these shows. It's just action, start to finish. It's an amazing place to be right now, and 2020 is going to be an unbelievable year for the company, and I can't wait to see where we go.
I'm excited to see where you go. You've been in the wrestling business for a bit of time now, and you've shared a lot of locker rooms. What is the vibe at the Ring of Honor locker room? Because you have your Briscoes, you have a Danny Moff who was there at the beginning, and now he's back. You got PCO, who's amazing, and then you got all these young, hungry talents. Yourself, Dalton, who's gotten a bad break. I mean, he was the world champion, but he had a year marred with injuries, and now he looks like he's healthy. Flip is healthy. Brody King is back and healthy. You brought in Slex. You have Adam Brooks coming in. Shane Taylor's holding the whole company for ransom. But, I mean, it's quite a crew. How awesome does that make you feel knowing that you're part of such an eclectic crew?
It's a great feeling because you look around you and, like I said, there are no weak links, and you're like, this is the team I'm on, and I got to show my worth here against these world-class performers. Like I said, there are no weak links. The roster is absolutely unbelievable right now, and this is why Ring of Honor, in my opinion, has certainly the happiest locker room I've ever been in, and everybody's motivated. And the reason is, from the top of the card to the bottom, what you will notice about Ring of Honor is that everybody matters. Everybody matters. Every single person has a quest or a story that's going on, and they have a story to tell. The onus is on you to get to the top of the card, and you've got the tools to do it. And that's why I love Ring of Honor.
It's just a great time to be a Ring of Honor fan. A couple more questions before I let you go. I don't want to take up too much of your time. let's a real question, real talk here. With you having to travel from the UK to the States and all this craziness that's going on with the coronavirus and stuff, is that a concern of yours when you travel as often as you do?
It's not, because I just personally, I don't, I've got a job to do, and I accept, the travel that comes with it. But also, if you look at the figures of the coronavirus and stuff like that, I don't want to get into the politics of it. But for me, if you really look at the numbers, there are yes, the coronavirus is a concern, but so is heart disease, and so many thousands more die from the actual flu, and other diseases like cancer and things like that. So it's kind of there are a lot of concerns. And don't get me wrong, I'll do everything I can do to, be as hygienic as possible in travel, to be as healthy as I can be, and to, reduce the risk of infection. But I'm operating as if it's not I'm being mindful of it, but it's not something that I am afraid of, because you just, we've got a job to do, and, I accept that I need to travel to do that.
Completely understand. I was just curious because of the travel thing. It's not like you're here in the States and you can, take a 6-hour car ride. You have to get in a little tube and fly through the air. Is the travel taxing on you going from, because obviously you're in the UK, for those not familiar with Joe, does it take a lot out of you? Because if I even go to Texas and then I have to travel back, it's like the most exhausting thing in the world for me.
I actually don't mind it at all, and the reason is I operate on US time. So what I do is I never change. Well, obviously I change time zone, but in terms of when I go to sleep and wake up, it's always the same time. And I've done that by design, because I found what in the past has messed me up is changing my sleep patterns. So what I'll do now is when I'm in the UK, I sleep a lot. Like, I go to the gym last thing at night. So I'll finish up at the gym at 2 a.m. and I'll go as hard as I can in the gym. So I'll be asleep by 3 a.m. and then I'll wake up at midday. So I'll get 9 hours of sleep and recovery. But the US, most of the time I'm on the East Coast, so it's only 5 hours difference. So that 3 a.m. becomes 10 p.m. and waking up at midday becomes as if I was waking up 5 hours earlier. So that's what I've kind of done to make sure I don't have to make any change there. So I like that system. My dog is very lazy as well. When he's not, I've got a little whippet, and he just goes nuts for half an hour, a couple times a day. And other than that, he's lazy as hell. So it's awesome. He's happy to get up late in the day. Works for us. So
hey, if it works, it keeps you on schedule. That's the way to do it, man.
Yep.
We're talking to the prestigious one, Joe Hendry, at Joe Hendry on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him. Throw his name in the YouTube. There's matches. There's his parody videos, which are hysterical. And then, of course, this Friday, Ring of Honor, 18th anniversary show, Sam's Town, Las Vegas. You can get it. RingofHonorWrestling.com, Honor Club, your local pay-per-view providers, and then the next night, Past First Present, which will be on the Honor Club. And you definitely want to check that out. You get to see Dalton Castle and our guest tonight, Joe Hendry, take on the Briscoes at the 18th anniversary show. Then the next night, you get to see them take on Delirious and Grizzly Redwood. And then after that, the sky's the limit for Dalton and Joe as they have their sights set on the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. If you guys were going to go after the 6-man belts, would you have to choose between one of the boys?
Oh, I need to think about that. I would really need to think about that. We need another big personality. I'm going to say Martina. Throw her in there.
Session?
Yep. Mix up another big personality. What could possibly go wrong?
Look, she's got. I think she's messing with hearts with the bouncers. And
yeah, she's committed to the bouncers. But, that was the first kind of big personality that came to mind there.
Yeah. Well, she was flirting with Caprice Friday night, and then Beer City gave her a beer. But Brian, he's got a crush on him. It's a lot of spoons in the porridge, as I say.
Hey, whoa. No, I'm talking about a professional platonic situation here. None of that.
Yeah, but matters of the heart, they'll interfere.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. It could result in some drama for us.
Yeah,
you asked the question, answered it. You know what I mean? It's big personalities.
She does have a big personality. It's a great addition to the women's division, too, for Ring of Honor.
Indeed. Adds to the international talent as well that we've got. Now got talent from Australia, Ireland, Scotland, England, South Africa, Canada, obviously the United States, Japan. Like, we have got a totally international roster.
It's a great time to be a Ring of Honor wrestling fan. If you dipped out,
indeed.
If you dipped out for a couple years, or after the whole nonsense with the Bucks and Cody and them leaving, like, now is a great time to get back in because Ring of Honor is doing some excellent stuff. Joe Hendry's doing excellent stuff. Joe, before we let you go, is there anything you'd like to leave your fans with?
I would love everyone here to subscribe to Honor Club. As you said, it's awesome value, and you can keep up with everything that we're doing. So go do that. Make sure you just get it done. You put it perfectly. Now's the time to get involved. Go join Honor Club. That would be the main thing. Get yourself a couple Ring of Honor t-shirts, maybe even the prestigious ones t-shirt, whatever you want to do. Follow me on social media. It's at Joe Hendry on Twitter and Instagram. And there you go. That's it.
I mean, Joe, you couldn't have said it any better. It's bang for your buck, Honor Club. You get just this weekend alone. You get the 18th anniversary. You get the past and present. Then in April, you get the Pure Excellence show. The Pure titles coming back. Then we got Battlestar. Then we got the Quest for the Gold. Then we got the whole War of Worlds taking place in May. That's like 8 shows right there between now and the beginning of May. I mean, you're not going to find better value anywhere out there, and you're not going to find better wrestling.
Exactly.
I'm not used to being right, so I will take that.
Yes.
Joe, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we could talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. See you next time.
Joe, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.